All right, class. Who's having trouble with their starter? Anybody? It figures. Smitty, get to the front of the class.
Hello, Smitty here with Habitual Hot Rods and Hobbies. Starter School. Never really thought I'd be making a segment on this. I want to say before we get started, as a disclaimer, I am not a professional mechanic. I do this as a hobby. Um, I would probably ask that you all follow your recommended manufacturer instructions. There's lots of good information and stuff in here. Uh, I would take anything that I say, or pretty much, I guess, anything on the internet that you hear with a grain of salt. Probably good to dig up your own information, make your own decisions. But I'm just going to try to inform you with what I have found out through the course of doing this, and we'll throw up our intro and get started. Okay, Smitty here, Habitual Hot Rods and Hobbies. Starter School. Yeah. Didn't think there'd be anything, I guess. I never thought I'd be making a segment on this, per se. Starters have been something I've never really, I guess, had that much issue with. Uh, but things change. So here we find ourselves talking about starters once again. I've touched on this a little bit. An overview of what I have learned through my course of this. I didn't realize there was quite so much, I guess, to this, and the different things that you can do, and the different starters available, and the differences and the clearances, and we're just going to get into a lot of that today. And so I guess how we start out here first is, you know, just your good old OEM Chevrolet starter. This thing is it's heavy. It's probably 20 pounds, and it's big. This is what you would probably find on majority of almost any small blocks that came out. This is what I use 90% of the time. It's got a cage built around your starter bendix that's in here. And, these things just work. I have them on almost everything I own. Anywhere from a 500 horsepower 496, ran them in high compression small blocks. And they usually just work pretty well. They're kind of cheap. I think there is a way that you can get them to where they have more windings, so they kind of got some higher performance ones and stuff, if that's something you're looking into. But you know, drawback, the size. The size of this compared to this, I mean, as you can tell just by looking at it, and the weight, if you're counting every gram, that's probably going to be a better option for you. I have not tried to really kick over a vehicle, with 600 cubic inches, 12 to 1 compression with something like this. Because the solenoid and the motor is bigger, if they're running next to your headers and stuff, there's a little bit of a chance for heat soak on these. They do make starter blankets that can go around them to help alleviate that problem. But there again, check with your manufacturers and stuff, because some starter companies say not to use a heat blanket. It actually traps the heat in. It does different things to their starters. And like I said, it's kind of a case by case basis. But yeah, just a good non-gear reduction, high output starter. Other than these little shims that they come with, I haven't really needed much else with them. But getting them into places can be a chore, you know. So, uh, but this next one here is it's a mini starter. This here is the one that I've been kind of fighting with on my Monte Carlo for a while. What happens is on this front, I guess Bendix or starter gear, it hits my flex plate every so little bit. It engages fine, it starts the vehicle fine, but it does not have the appropriate clearance between my flex plate and this gear. Now I've had it on and off. I have tried the shims that are like these on top of it, but my problem isn't gear engagement up and down. It is gear, it is, I need it to pull away from my flex plate, as in this direction. I'm going to show you a little something while we got her up here. How's that? Can you see that there pretty good? Okay. Is that going to blind you too bad? I think you'll be all right. All right, this one I've had apart. So here is the block. I've done some grinding and modification to mine to make it more of a roundy instead of so squared off to get everything to kind of just line up really nice. And theoretically, what I was wanting to do after you take these screws and stuff out, they're pretty simple. As you can see, that shim there. All right, what I need to get a couple of these so that will in fact take this and instead of it sitting in, this flush, it'll theoretically move this away. Now by putting that in there to this, effectively moving this back. So I did some looking around. This is a Hitachi motor on this one. It is a gear reduction little mini starter. What I ran across and what I found was they do have little ring, I guess we'll call it the starter gear shim. You see that in there pretty good? Get you zoned in there a little bit. All right, what that does is you can lay that right over the top of that gear, effectively giving you another shim. The problem we have with that issue is when you put that little gear shim on there, it covers up these bolt holes. Fitment around and indexing it around this part is fine, but when you go to put your bolts in, you will find that you cannot get them in because of that. So that will not work. I will have to find more shims exactly like these. And yeah, it's kind of where we're at so far as to what we have going on with this starter. I didn't really ever hear about shimming these out, but if this is running into your flywheel, flex plate, starter ring gear, whatever you want to call it, that is going to be your solution for that problem. Now, I do believe that I can get just these. I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to try to find one because, like I said, this is not going to work with the starter. And I'm kind of bound and determined I'm going to make this starter work. I don't have, there's no really reason why it won't. Oop, I'll pull my whole gear out. God damn it. And yeah, this whole thing does come out. That's kind of what engages and disengages it. I've been over and over that again and again, trying to make sure that, there's nothing stopping it from retracting back as far as it should. And I haven't found anything. It all seems to be just fine. So there we go. And this one is clockable in about 3 different positions here, as you can see. You can turn that to make this, go to a few different positions from about there to about there, But that's the one we're kind of messing with as we're doing it right now. I wondered and foreseen if this wouldn't almost be a problem. And I do know for a fact that this one is built for this one. So over here, this is a new Power Master starter I've just bought. And it is actually even smaller than the one I just showed you. Gear reduction starter, fairly reasonable for price. And I picked it up because I have other motors that are going to need a starter. Or I've decided to kind of quit messing around with this other one and put it on. Although I may still order some shims and try to put that one on this engine. I just, mainly for the fact that I don't like getting beat. I want to figure it out. And that's kind of what we're doing with different things here today. As far as that goes, they do make these shim kits here from Dorman, and these are in different lengths of all different kinds or thicknesses, so that you can kind of custom tailor to, whatever you kind of want as far as your shimming goes. Most of them just come with a couple. I do have a bunch, about 4 of these for this. I was kind of hoping they would fit this and the other starter, but I know they will fit this starter. Obviously, they will not fit the other starter. I have some clips of me kind of running this a little bit and of it grinding up on the flywheel and whatnot. So I will show those as well. All right, well, I got you set up under the car looking at the starter and this flywheel. And, for me and for you, I'd like to see kind of what's going on under here. So, hold on, we're going to fire this girl up. As you can see, I've got washer shims in here, and somebody told me that you should have this kind of to where it's easy to go back and forth. Maybe I should take those back out to get, it ain't really going to change the flex plate any, but I heard that if you have to kind of pull this forward to get it on there, it can kind of pull this back. But yeah, that starter is really close. And I don't know, I'm hoping those shims will we'll bring it down, bring this down enough to where it'll just kind of cover this. If not, like I said, there's a kit where you take these bolts out here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's one there and like one there. And then you will put a gasket between this block and this motor. And that will effectively pull this back just a little ways. But the bad thing is it actually starts and engages pretty well, the way it is. The other thing I'm pretty excited about is there's no leaks under here at all. So, I mean, that part of the installation's done really well. But, yeah, let me go back up and I'm going to kind of record this so we can see what's going on here. It'll help me and it might be instructional for you. Gotta say, I'm loving the way it sounds. And how much torque this thing's gonna have. Once we get these other little deals kind of figured out, we're gonna have a pretty awesome ride, I think. But yeah. It's kind of weird that it ain't even warm. Huh. Well, I want to review this footage, so I'm going to look back here and see what it is, and then I'll probably get back to you guys here when I start shimming the starter up. But yeah, that's just kind of where we're at. Didn't realize these things had some some differences. Some different shim packages and how they work. Like I said, most of the time, 90% of the time, like I said, I get one of these and wham, you slap her on. You might have to put one of these on and they work, but they're tough. They work pretty well, but they are heavy. They're not the easiest thing to install, but I have had good luck with them. My dad swears by them. He still runs them. There's nothing wrong with them if you can physically get them on your engine. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Looks like I'm going to be going and finding me some 3-hole shim deals to get my other starter put back together. But, in a nutshell, that's kind of where we're at. I was looking at the instructions as it pertains to what's going on here, and as you can see, you need 0.100 thousandths at least of space here, and that is something I do not have currently with the old starter I had on my motor. And this shows you right here, which I did not know also, that you shim it. Um, you can take that apart. You can shim that out. It shows you your teeth engagement here. So like I said, do follow the instructions. The starter should engage between 3 and 400,000 or 4 thousandths of the starter width. So you want it at least there to there. I do believe we at least have that, if not more. But yeah, like I said, lots of information, stuff I guess I didn't know. I never got nothing with my little mini starter, and it's one of the first ones I guess I messed with on this engine. So uh, just food for thought, things I've learned and picked up here. Thought I'd pass them along to somebody else that's might be having the same issue. I've got to work this weekend, so not going to be getting terrible amount done. I do have this starter. I do have my shim packs, so I can probably get that on the engine and get it to going if we want. I like how this one's actually cut away quite a bit. I think that's going to make some nice header inferences. And like I said, this whole thing here, really kind of cool how that's infinitely clockable. I can move that around any way I want. So yeah, if I get a little extra time and get one of those in there, we'll bring you back on the next video, and I'll show you how the install went, if and how it worked, and what we did to correct the problems that we had. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning back in. He said it's going to be a little slow, got a lot of stuff going on right now, but we will prevail. Oh, that reminds me. Last week, when I did my carpet install on my top banana, I did not do a shout out to my fellow channels. Remember, I was always going to do a We Want You Addicted To shout out to other small channels or big channels, just channels in general that I find on YouTube. So I think we'll do two today. And my We Want You Addicted To first one's going to go out to Cars on Cars. That guy is an auto body genius. He's also funny. He makes really good content. He's really into, he does a good job of giving you something that's entertaining to watch, combining it with very good knowledge, and showing you tips and tricks. He's kind of like me. I think he's a little cranky. Sometimes we kind of get in some moods, I guess, or whatever. And but I find it kind of appealing. Really, I actually kind of like it. He's one of the guys while I'm subscribed to him, when his notification kicks on, I look forward to seeing what he's doing next, what's happening. So yeah, shout out to Tony on Cars on Cars. I think it's a really good channel, and I'm new to auto body stuff, so I've been watching a lot of that stuff, trying to kind of figure out what I'm gonna have to do my own stuff on my Camaro. So me, it matches up kind of perfect with what I'm trying to learn and figure out right now. So yeah, Cars on Cars. I recommend them. Check them out. The other one I'm gonna do is I feel like I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago or something. I was sitting around and I was kind of feeling sorry for myself because I wasn't getting thousands of views. I don't get a lot of views at all, but anyway, it's I was sitting there and it's like I'm trying to put this 500 horsepower, really cool car out on my YouTube. I feel like I got good content. I feel like I got good vehicles. I try to bring in, my own I guess, disposition to these channels. So you kind of feel like you put your heart and soul into them a little bit, and maybe nobody cares. But I'm gonna have to go. I mean, it's not a small channel; it's a big channel, and I think I got into a mode a little bit because it's clunkers and classics, or isn't it? Classics and yeah, clunkers and classics with Lee. I mean, everybody's probably watched it already. Um, that guy, you know, say what you will, maybe about his build quality or his way about going stuff, but talk about a dude that's resourceful, a guy that's just devoted to building cars, and he's just kind of the epitome of a hot rodder. That guy, he had a 72 Nova he did, and I watched it years ago, and he ran a six banger in it. Painted Hugger Orange. I've been waiting for it, as I seen the kind of the thumbnails. I'm like, oh wow, Hugger Orange Nova. He painted it for cheap. I was all interested, but a six banger. Oh my god, what the? And he did like a 78 Nova, and I got a 76 hatchback. Oh wow, this is gonna be so awesome. I wanted to watch it. Six banger again, and I think I just got so mad. It's not the envisions I would have, I guess, at my hot rods. But the guy is frugal, and he uses what works. And like I said before in this channel, and I stick by it, we're all like-minded people. We're all out spinning wrenches and restoring stuff, keeping things on the road that otherwise would be deteriorating in some field somewhere or something. So hats off to everybody that does that, including Lee. I just, he's got a lot of followers. He's got a lot of people that watch his channel endlessly. I put him on and just kind of binge watch. I'm watching his Nomad video right now daily. When I get time, and I'm sitting in the truck and I'm looking for a little something to watch, I kick that baby over. I think he's got 83 different segments of building that car on there, and we're getting into where he's into paint and body work and stuff right now. And yeah, that guy, he's diehard, man. Out on a cement pad out in front of his garage, just working on these things endlessly. So just wanted to say I'm not against six bangers. I'm not against guys making do with $500 engines. I get it. I understand. Um, I guess I was just going on a little bit of a rant there. For me, everything's got to have 400 or 500 horsepower, and I gotta, I like them to run and sound really nice, and I mean, we all just kind of got our ideas. His make great gas mileage to get him where he wants to go, and how's it going, choo choo? Now he's over there taking a nap. I guess he's out ready to go do something now, huh, buddy? All right, well, I guess that'll probably do it for this video today. So yeah, if you haven't checked them out, the Clunkers and Classics and Cars on Cars. Um, Two really good channels that are out there, and there's lots more of them out there. I keep finding them, and I am one of them. Very, very just getting started in the middle of this, but I feel like it's getting better and better, and I'm gonna have to probably do something like that with my car. It'll probably just be a 200 part series of me building that car, and I'm gonna try to throw some other filler stuff in to keep things interesting. But yeah, well, I'm gonna get the star stuff figured out. We'll get figured out, get it in there, and we're gonna have this baby up and running before. I'm gonna say hopefully by the end of this month now. Be doing a run and driving video. Don't you think? I think so. All right, that's it for me and Chewy. We're out of here. All right, let's go, bud.